I've had over 30 harassment calls made to me in the last couple hours. Meow. Kitty? Okay, there's a kitty cat over there. I was just making sure it was alright. Meow. 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 Oh, very nice. Very nice. Meow. I know, I stink, huh? Let's get you petted up. Let's get you petted up. Yeah. Mm. Oh, you were a sweetie. Oh, sorry. You're right. You're right. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Oh, you is a lover. You is a lover. Oh, I'm coming. I'm coming. Yep, that guy's pulling out. I'll keep you safe. Yep, gonna go hide behind me. It's scary, isn't it? Yeah, it's a big old truck. You're good. You're making me get some exercise, and this hurts a bit. I'm gonna have to stop rolling around with you in just a minute. You can actually dictate how the cat moves and walks and talks to you by how you pet it. Same thing with dogs. Give them lovin's in the right place. They know exactly what that means. There's a couple little nubbins in the ears. They're tough for cats to scratch. Oftentimes, if an animal has a collar, they will absolutely want you to pet them under the collar. A lot of times when a cat gets behind you, it shows quite a bit of trust from the cat. Although I just met this one. It's alright, dogs love me too, and so do kids. By turning his back to me, he knows I'm not going to hurt him, and he's showing me a lot of trust. Oh, you got some stuff in your tail. Alright, let's go. good to meet you, but you're good therapy. You are excellent therapy. You don't seem like the kind of cat that likes being picked up, but I'm gonna try it, okay? Is it okay if I try to pick you up? You don't like it, but you're letting me anyway. Got her cradled underneath so she can jump out anytime she wishes. There you go. Coming right back, huh? Yeah. Thank you for that. I needed it. You're good. You feel like you've been fed and you don't look like you're out of water? Your coat may not be shiny, but it's healthy. She's quite regal and majestic looking. Alright, I'm gonna head back to my car. Thank you for coming over and loving on me. You be safe. Alright, I'm down to 6% battery. I'm sorry, I saw a kitty cat. It looked weird the way it was laying down and the way the wind blew over it. I was hoping the cat wasn't dead, and I'm super glad it wasn't. I can't even remember what I was making the video about. Ah, yes, autism. In the 90s, it was recognized and noted by the medical community that people with aspergers did not have the access that people with autism had. Although many of their disabilities are exactly the same. The reason their disabilities are exactly the same, as many of them are, is because it's post-traumatic stress disorder. We're exhibiting signs of PTSD. But rather than recognizing the signs of PTSD, you just want to call it psychotic, crazy, nutty, loopy. Yeah, that was some people that don't know how to drive. I should go back to my car and see if I have my headphones there. It kind of helps to muffle it out. Helps me to pay closer attention to what I'm saying because I'm not distracted as much. There's that kitty cat still sitting there where we left, or her. I got a feeling it's a her, but I didn't check for parts. You're good. She's staring right at me. If she wants some more lovin's, I'll let her. She's got a collar, so she's somebody else's cat. I'm not going to take her. And as a homeless person, it's kind of mean to have an animal. Because even though your animal's probably going to get more lovings than anybody else's animals, when you get arrested, your animal gets arrested. They're not going to put you down for being drunk in public. They're not going to put you down for urinating on a wall. Your dog, on the other hand, has that risk. Some of these people do that just to spite you. One thing y'all don't realize is how loving cats really are. There was a cat named Butters, and Butters was a pain in the ass. But when I was passed out, Butters slept on top of my chest. That was King of Nichols' cat, and he hated everybody, including King of Nichols. My last cat was Princess Tiger Lily. She was a quarter bobcat, and she was real fucking mean. Oh, there is somebody coming that cat is afraid of. Let's see who that is. Oh, it's a homeless dude with a dog. I understand why a cat would be afraid of a dog. Anyway, people with aspergers were being victimized and abused left and right because we're intelligent. And they said, hey, you know what? These people are still at-risk adults. They're still getting taken advantage of, but they've got no protections. So in the late 90s, Asperger's was reclassified as high-functioning autism. They're not even the same thing. But it was so that people like me would have the rights that I've been denied for my entire life. But I'd also seen my entire life how that tag had been used to destroy innocent people's lives. Innocent kids who didn't do anything wrong. How they were drugged for doing what kids do, for acting like children because they were children, myself being one of them. When I moved up to live with my dad, I wanted to say that I was 9 years old when I got the diagnosis, but I think I was 12 when I got the diagnosis. It was changed in the 90s so that people like me would be protected instead of bullied. See, there's a correlation between intelligence and being bullied. People don't like intelligence. The dumber you are, the less you are likely to value intelligence. But you are very likely to value the fruits of our labors and our brains. You might be pissed off that you labor away every day in a factory making toasters. But you know what? Somebody intelligent came up with that idea for a toaster. Matter of fact, each and every part of that was an idea that was come up with by somebody intelligent. Those of us with Asperger's were treated like we're mentally retarded morons. There's a woman today in Safeway who was telling me that she went to school with somebody with cerebral palsy. You could only fill her cup up half full. And I know she's right. I know people with cerebral palsy. I know that it's not just a physical disability. It's also a dehumanizing disability. Because you have a difference in your body. It's a neuromuscular issue. And it only gets worse as you get older. MS is kind of the same on the brain. It only gets worse as you get older. But people with MS aren't treated the same as people with cerebral palsy often develop speech impediments, plus the movements of their body. A lot of people just, in their minds, they think this person's retarded. Same as somebody with Down syndrome. Same with somebody with Aspergers. Same with somebody who's low-functioning autistic. We're all lumped into the retards category in your minds. Your common perceptions, your public opinions, these are the opinions that are projected to you. Autism Speaks has done more to harm the autism community than anyone else. Their campaign to cure autism and to paint us as monsters starting in 2005 destroyed all of the work that was done in the 90s to get us rights, 80s to get us rights. All their campaigns have been geared towards feeling sorry for the families of someone with autism. When they actually acknowledge somebody with Asperger's, it's always somebody with Asperger's willing to sell their doctrine, sell their rhetoric, sell their dogma. They got all these autistic kids, and they post up pictures of their autistic kids. They type about how difficult it is for the families. They don't type how difficult it is for those kids. And it's horrible that they use those kids in that way. It's horrible the way that Leslie Snell and Clint Snell were able to use their kids to get away with the crimes they'd committed. It was horrible the way that Scott DaCosta was able to use Leslie Snell and the Nebraska State Patrol to hide the crimes they'd committed. It's horrible that through all of that, I didn't have a real friend to help me turn in any of it. Everybody just wanted to argue, or not even get that far. They're too busy talking about themselves and trying to make me feel like a bad person for going to any of them for help. Talking over me and telling me how sorry they are. Telling me about their uncle or their cousin who's autistic. Story after story of these people who are autistic over and over again. These stories. But while they're busy telling their stories, they're not hearing mine. Predators called me from restricted numbers only 30 times today. I remember Seeker's name, it's Nick, isn't it? How you doing?
Good, how you doing? I know your car.
Yep. Oh, hey Seeker, how you doing? Oh my God. She's absolutely welcome. Well, there was a cute little kitty cat that was just loving on me a few minutes ago. Apparently you know the drill. Thank you for letting me love on you. Oh, how you doing? On your way to go do something?
Not really.
I saw Seeker and I went, oh my God, I could totally abuse that poor guy's privileges by stealing his dog for a second and stealing some love. I wish I could have a dog of my own.
Oh, you're alright.
Thank you.
You're alright.
Oh, you're starting to get in a playful mood. I'm a little too old for that. Having a better day? Having a better day? Yeah, your phone isn't about as good a shape as mine was. I had to spend $120 to fix a $40 phone because it's got evidence in it. Insanity. Yeah, that's just bread. Probably not going to be your interest. Oh, you found a soft place to sit, didn't you? Try not to spoil her too much. Thank you, Miss Seeker. Yeah, that cat I was petting, she waited there. I did a whole lap around the area and came back, and she was literally just sitting there at the same place I left her, sitting in the same way, just looking at me as I walked by. And then you came by with Seeker, and she saw Seeker, and she darted off into the backyard over there. Oh, yeah. I think she sees something over there, actually. I don't know, whatever it is, she lost interest already. You able to get internet on that?
Yeah. Yes, for 3 months.
Yeah, I was wanting to get one. They shut down the Cricket store before I was able to. Yeah.
We can put something up for him. Just gotta figure something out. Our friends, like in Portland, they'll have somebody on the street that'll have a bunch of them and sign you up and if you qualify, they'll give it to you right there.
Oh, it's a dachshund. Yeah. Well, that's the way life goes, isn't it? At least I got to pet the pooch. Alright, someone calling himself Josh King says you murdered Natalie Bollinger. Actually, Joseph Michael Lopez shot Natalie Bollinger at her request. Sure. Oh, here he is. Not that I care about food, but I do.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I've been speaking up about the corruption here. The news finally started, the Portland news, talking about Tillamook now and the corruption.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
So what is it?
Well, they got 80 pieces of evidence that are tampered with, and 64 of them are missing drugs. But I got it recorded with the people who received the drugs, which officers they got the drugs from. I also got a lot of the local predators talking about their activities, and I've also got a lot of other people that are just drug addicts that are talking about the abuse they have to endure.
All right. Yeah.
You'll have to ask him for permission for anything like
Yes,
this.
you can.
All right, I'll let you give it to him. I'm never going to feed another person's dog.
That's good. Not a big deal. about time to fucking figuring that shit out. I mean, I've known for a long time. I mean, every time I have a camera malfunction, they either destroy evidence or create evidence.
Yep.
So,
They keep camera evidence from going to court, and they can preach whatever story they want.
yep.
And you get a public pretender because you're broke, and they won't requisition the body cam evidence.
Yep.
They tell you it'll take an act of God.
Right, you know, it's like my camera doesn't malfunction, yours must be do.
And yours is fucked, same thing as mine.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I make sure I record everything as much as possible. But step 2 is going in, making sure you don't do it alone.
Yeah.
Working together with other victims, making sure you both tell your stories and tell them together so that people know that it's a problem.
Right.
Because if you call individually, they're not going to make the connection.
Right.
So I got over 100 people from Tillamook talking about the corruption here.
Talking about what?
The corruption here. Over 100 people wanting to talk about why they're afraid of the police here. Talking about, you know, the missing people from here, the drug issue. Almost everybody here is aware not only of the fact that it's police officers that are bringing it out here, but they're also speaking the names of these officers. The officers are also trading some of these drugs for services, as you probably know. They're also giving the drugs out to people in order to basically revenge on anybody or retaliate against anybody who tries to tell them on.
Right.
Now, lucky for me, I haven't had to deal with too much of that, but they know that I record everything. They know that I record it live on YouTube. The reason I record it live instead of just recording it the way that I was recording it is because if I just record it, but it's not live, if they arrest me while I'm recording it, then yeah, I need that for evidence. I need it in court. I know a public pretender is not going to do their job. I know that the difference between me getting an honest day in court or not is that evidence. You know, I've literally been tortured physically and otherwise while incarcerated for trying to turn in officers and child abusers. In Chapel, Nebraska, 11 separate occasions they pressed false charges against me when I tried to turn in the cops. Nebraska State Patrol kept making me go to Scott DaCosta and his deputies to turn in Scott DaCosta and his deputies, which is a conflict of interest. It's also a felony because I'm a disabled person. Yeah, you can feel my anxiety. You can feel my anxiety. But yeah, I mean, I haven't had to deal with all of that here, but Buell County was involved in Natalie Bollinger's death. Natalie Bollinger, she was a friend of mine who got her brains blown out in Colorado in December of 2017.
Right.
That's not your fault. But ever since then, I was forced into homelessness because of it. And then police officers have committed nearly non-stop felonies because people tried to frame me for her murder, including the cops. Then they found the guy that actually did it. But by that point, the police had already committed dozens of felonies against me, and they weren't going to come off it. And then they wouldn't investigate anything or look at any evidence. They said, oh, well, if you still got charges pending, we can't investigate. Really? These police officers did everything they could to prohibit the truth from coming out. They did everything they could to slander my name. There's evidence of the slander. There's evidence of the abuse and the threats against my friends and family. And those threats against my friends and family, I mean, the most recent person to tell me about it was just a couple of days ago. You know? And I get told, oh, well, why don't you just forget it? Why don't you just let it go? Look what I live in. And there's the fact that I'm disabled and my disability money went